Jeremy McWilliams at Scary, just ridden the RC8 1190 all day. Now got a couple of questions for Jeremy. How do you feel this compares to other big V-twin superbikes, and it's not that many to compare it with, is it? The KTM.
The RC8 is very individual. Obviously, it's not like anything we've ever seen before, but in terms of the first impressions that to me are very, very good. I like the way the bike stops and steers. It's very agile. It's a very easy bike to ride. I mean by that, very, very little physical input to get a reaction, which is nice. It's very compact, with all the weight seems to be in the middle. In terms of describing that, it means that there's not a lot of weight transfer, on brakes or throttle openings. The bike stays quite neutral and quite easy to place anywhere on the circuit. I've only ridden it on the circuit. It's my first day today, and I'd love some more time with it. It's a really impressive bike.
Yeah. Do you say that's down to the chassis or weight distribution?
I think it's got a combination of everything. If you look at the bike, it's very 600-ish type size. It's quite small and neat and tidy, and the chassis works well. It's strange, when you push as hard as we're pushing today, you sort of expect the bike to throw up some surprises, or at least have have something that I want to fix. And the only thing we've changed on the RC today are minor suspension tweaks. So it's a really good base bike to start on, but it's also it's not really a sports riding position. It's not as prone as most sports bikes are. It's an in-between riding position, like between sports bike and sports touring bike. You take a bike onto the track, the first thing you want to do is have a fully sports bike. So you start to change, positions, handlebars, etc. It's not necessary at the moment to do that, because we're just having a bit of fun, but still capable to ride the bike very, very fast. So it's a well-rounded bike. It seems to do most everything pretty well.
What would KTM have to do to the RC8 1190 to make it into a world superbike racer from what it is now?
This is the street version, and obviously KTM have got a lot of ideas on how to make it perform in super stock, but I don't think there's an awful lot we need to change. We're quite restricted, obviously, with a road bike and exhaust systems, etc. I think there's a lot to come from the bike, but I've never had a chance to test it other than this, and I'd love to have a chance at that someday. It seems to be a bike that would react well to changes for the circuit. Nice little touches where you just pop the wing mirrors off, and you don't have to change the fairing. You've also got the tail light assembly disassembles quite quickly from the back, so there's not an awful lot of work to do if you want to go on do a track day on your RC8. But the chassis to me is probably one of the big advantages. It seems to be very forgiving when the bike's maximum lean. There's no pumping, no chatter, nothing that I can find. The very fast lap here. The power delivery is so linear that it actually doesn't feel as fast as it is until we put the stopwatch on. We've just done that and completed a couple of very fast laps. So to me, there's not a lot I could say that we can do to improve this bike right now. It works well. It stops and steers, and anybody that we've spoken to today about it seems to have the same impression. Anybody could ride this bike. Really. Enjoy it.
What do you reckon of the front end suspension from WP? And
we've had a WP technician on side today, and he's really had relatively little to do. He's maybe changed my suspension by 2 clicks on the front and a little bit of preload in the rear, and that's about it. I think that one of the nice things was the stopping power. The bike stops well, and even if you get in a little hot, it's so easy to get the bike back on the line. I can't really fault the front end. The rear end to me is probably more advantageous because under hard acceleration, the bike doesn't want to run off the track. It holds its line, and there's no compromise on grip level. So we're running Pirelli super courses today, and it seems to suit the bike very well. There's great stability, which is strange. You normally compromise one for the other, and I'm not sure how they've done that. The bike looks relatively short to me. You know, it looks like a short engine. You know, a lot of the mass is very central.
5 degrees.
Yeah, and it's you know, I suppose the first thing you wonder how that's possible. You know, the bike, honestly, you only have to look at the turn and the bike goes into it. In my experience, that's normally a recipe for a handling problem somewhere else on a very fast turn or a very fast straight. But the stability of the bike is, you know, A1. I can't call that anyway. But Scary is quite a forgiving track. It's a very fast flowing track with some very tricky bits in the middle, but at no time today have I felt like I've had to get the feet out. It's been a relatively relaxed day, I think, for everyone.
Yeah.
The journalists have all enjoyed themselves, and all the comments have been quite similar. I think anybody could ride the bike and
What's the track thing?
And get the best out of it. Yeah.
Tell us more about Ascari, because you know a little bit more about it than most.
This track is
good track to test a new bike.
Ascari is probably one of the nicest, as you can see, circuits in the world. The setting is perfect. The weather in southern Spain normally is pretty kind when I've been here, but the layout of the track is quite different. It seems to be a series of turns from around the world that Klaus has decided to put together and link into a circuit. It's quite a long circuit, but probably one of the most thrilling circuits I've ridden in a long time. It's absolutely incredible. It's quite dangerous in parts too. You know, you have to sort of have a little bit of show a little bit of caution on the bank corners, but the flowing turns are absolutely very, very unique. And I think it's a shame that we don't get to ride Ascari a little bit more often. And everything from 600cc to leader and above bikes on Ascari, and I think every time I ride, I enjoy riding the track more. It seems to be well suited to whatever you want to put on the track. I think it was originally designed to run cars on it, but it lends itself very well to two wheels also. I like the look of it.
Yeah.
I think it's very futuristic looking. It's a little bit in the KTM mold. I think you know, if you took the badge and the colour off it, I think we'd all still know it's a KTM, which is good for the company. But it's a very very good first attempt, should I say?
Yeah.
At a superbike.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
It's incredibly tight in the rear end.
There's a lot of things that are very very beautiful about the bike, and you know, you have to like that angular look. It works well.
Oh.